Welcome to another Realtor Spotlight. This week is Shannon Kilcullen. Shannon, it's good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
That's good. You have been with us now for 3 years?
Going on 3 years. I think it's September or October. So
Okay.
yeah.
And how did that all come about? I don't remember exactly how you got to us.
Okay, so my first year I was with Berkshire Hathaway, and it just didn't work out well for me. It wasn't a good fit.
All right, hang on. So you got your license here, and you went to Berkshire. Is that right?
Right, I got my license.
How'd you end up with Berkshire?
They sent me a letter in the mail.
Which one was it? Which Berkshire was it?
It was over off of, it was in the Moore area. I think it's off of Western.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because we were with Berkshire right before we started our deal. We didn't mean to be there. They got purchased. This company called Paradigm got purchased by Berkshire, and then we were there for, I don't know, 9 months. But that's about how long it took us to get ready for this, to do this. So we left Berkshire. But who was it that recruited you there?
So originally I met Megan Jones and a guy named Mike. I don't remember his last name. They were both with Whittington. And so...
Megan was?
Yeah, Megan Jones.
Michael Murphy?
Michael Murphy, yes. So I met
wow.
them through some mutual friends.
Okay.
And they told me about Whittington. And Megan was very adamant about me switching. And she introduced me to Otis. And then...
Okay, I do remember now.
So I became friends with Amy Bocock.
Okay.
When she was with Berkshire.
Okay.
And then she moved to Whittington, and
Right.
then she convinced me. So everybody was trying to convince me,
That's
and I
great.
finally was like, okay, I'm going.
Do you talk to Michael at all?
I don't, not
Okay.
these days.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, he's still a realtor with us.
He came back.
He did, and he really part-times it. But I'll see him here in a couple of weeks. We're doing a fantasy football thing. That's about really the only time he and I talk any longer. But he did really well at first, and then he got another job, I think at Tinker or something. But anyway, so you got your license, and then you went to Berkshire. Then you came. You didn't come with us. Didn't you go somewhere else? You went
For like a few days.
Okay. I do recall that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you came over. Yeah. So were you in real estate before you got to Oklahoma, or was this the first time?
No, this is my first time in real estate,
Okay.
in sales. I was in the IT business for a local government prior
Okay. And that was,
in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. And that's where you grew up and
Yeah.
were raised, and you still have family there?
I have my mom's cousins live there,
Okay.
but that's pretty much it.
Did you like North Carolina?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
What was great about it?
The landscape.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the
really-
mountains and the ocean, the trees.
A lot of trees.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being out there. One of my kids had a dive meet out there, and we went to Greensboro. Is there Greensboro?
Greensboro, yeah, so that's
North
the
Carolina.
area I lived in. Yeah.
Okay. It was so wooded. You couldn't. I never could feel like I could find out where I was.
Yeah.
Because it was just
you
trees.
have to know where things are at.
You really, and it was a big town. Greensboro's pretty big. I mean, isn't there Greensboro, South Carolina, and Greensboro, North? I thought there was one in each. Anyway, I never could get my feel for the whole place though. And I spent like a week and a half there, and anyway, but it's pretty. I remember it being really pretty out there.
Yeah, some people complain of claustrophobia when they come from an area like this out there.
No, I get it.
Feeling closed in by the trees.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
I do.
You go back?
I have not been back since I've been here. Yeah.
And you've been here how long?
Since about 2012.
Okay.
So I've been here for a while.
What did you do when you got here? When you first got here?
I didn't do much. Yeah, I worked part-time in a store, and then Uber came out, and I drove for them. And that's actually how I got my first real estate deal, was through
Uber.
an Uber
Somebody
customer.
needed to buy or sell?
Sell.
Okay. Where was the house?
It was in Moore.
Okay. Okay. What was it like to Uber?
Um,
I feel like I want to do that.
yeah.
Yeah, why
it's
not? It'd be
interesting.
fun. Yeah.
And you meet a lot of people.
Right.
I want to say I met another person that I got a deal off of doing that. I can't remember, but Yeah, it's a good way to
Yeah,
network.
I would think so. You still do it?
Every once in a while, just to
Just
keep the app going, because they'll kick you off if you don't.
okay. Okay. Weird
Most of the
sometimes.
time, it's pretty normal.
Right. Do you stay in your area or you just go where it takes you?
Wherever it takes me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've been all the way to Tulsa,
What's
to the
it?
airport.
You took somebody to the airport?
Yes.
What was that? How much was that?
Um, I want to say after tipping and all that, I made $200.
One tank of gas?
Yeah, I had a small car that was good on gas. Yeah.
So you made about 140, 150?
I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly how much I made,
Yeah.
but
Interesting.
yeah.
So what do you? So then you come back to the city. You don't have anybody in your car.
I want to say I picked up one more ride while I was there, and then I headed back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's the whole. I want to ask him 100 questions when I'm in there about the whole thing. But I think they
Yeah, people talk to me a lot
Yeah.
about doing that.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So you decided to get your real estate license,
Yes.
and then how's that been for you since you've gotten it?
So I will tell you, the first 2 years were rough for me. The first year I was with Berkshire, it wasn't a good fit. I stayed longer than I should have, and also had back surgery. And then my second year, I came over to Whittington,
Okay.
and that's when I got my first sale through my Uber client,
Okay.
my first listing. And then I had another back surgery after that, and I just was having a hard time figuring out my niche, and not being from here, and not having a background in sales made it a little difficult for me, but it's been picking up especially with the Zillow leads. That's helped me out a lot.
Right. Right. It's really not sales, though. Do you think it's sales? Do you think what you're doing is sales?
Well, I think there's a lot of marketing yourself,
Right.
which is marketing is a part of
Sure.
sales.
Sort of. Yeah.
Because you got to get yourself out there. You got to network. I consider that marketing.
Yeah.
Send emails out, follow-ups.
Because you're really not. I've always looked at. I felt like I was a salesperson, and then when I got into real estate, I realized for me, I'm not selling them the house. All I'm doing is selling them the process to get a house or to sell a house. That's what I'm doing. It's not really. I'm not going to. Look at these travertine tile. That to me just doesn't matter. It's whether they like the house or they don't like it. You can't. So I always felt like for me, I'm going to sell the process. If I can sell you the process of buying or selling and trust me to do that, then it gave me a whole different way of looking at it.
Yeah,
Does that
I
make
agree
sense?
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really not. You don't have to be a great salesman. That's why I got into it. My mom and dad were in real estate. My wife at the time was in real estate, and I would go to the office, and I would be like, "How much does this guy make?" And they'd be like, "That guy over there, he made $190,000 last year." And I'd be like, "He can't tie his shoes." I mean, and and I thought, okay, I could do this, and then I kind of got into it, and then you realize it's more about systems and discipline and things like that I felt like for me made me more successful than I could have been, I think. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know why I'm sharing that. Just thought I would. But what is it you like about real estate? What about real estate is it that you like?
I like the flexibility of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not working a 9 to 5 like I was doing before, because I do have some health issues that, which is why I got out of the IT field.
Just sitting.
Yeah, sitting for long periods of time. And I won't go into it, but there's some other things, but it's just difficult for me to sit, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So this was a flexible option for me. And I like it. I like homes. I like people.
Right.
When I was a kid, my neighbors called me Road Runner because I was always all over the place. I couldn't sit still. So this fits me perfectly with exploring neighborhoods, because I've always been an explorer and looking at houses. So I love doing it.
Right. What do you need to be better?
What do I need? I think what makes me better is just simply doing it, because the more you're in it, the more transactions you have, the more you learn.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that.
And so I'm constantly learning
Yeah.
different things, as the years go on.
Yeah. Have you had any interesting experiences in real estate that were odd, weird, anything like that?
I had a dangerous one. I've had one dangerous one that was odd. He said that he came to,
I feel like I know about this one.
he came for me and not for the home, and so that was a little scary.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot, especially in the position I'm in now when I talk with our realtors. That happens more than you think, which is weird. I don't think it happens to males as often, but I think for females, it's kind of an interesting, something you really have to pay attention to.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there are any fun stories. That was a scary one.
Yeah.
Well, they're all pretty fun, especially when you go through the process and you solve all the problems.
Right.
And then you get to the closing table and you're like, oh.
And you get paid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We did it. Yay.
Yeah, that's good.
So.
That's good. I was going to say something about, I had an experience one time. You see people at their worst, really, because they're selling a house or buying a house, so it's a stressful situation. I had one where a guy, we closed on it. I had the listing. Buyers did not do a walkthrough. They weren't my buyer, but we got there and the seller was like, I'm not giving you the deal was done, and the seller was like, I'm not giving you the keys.
Oh, no.
Because my check hasn't cleared, and I haven't cleared out my stuff yet, and the house was full. Of course, now the house was not his any longer. He just sold it. So we, and the people that were in my group at that point went over and moved this guy out of the house while the owners, or the new owners, sat there and watched the whole thing go down. It was not fun. Anyway, but it was a memory that I look back on, and it seemed really funny at the time now. Anyway.
Yeah, I've done some things to get the deal done that other people, would have thought that I shouldn't have done that, like clean the house.
Right.
I've had to clean one that was in pretty bad shape.
Yeah. You were the listing or the buy?
I had the buyer side, and the sellers moved out, and they just left the house a mess, and I couldn't.
That's good.
And the listing agent wasn't being cooperative with getting that taken care of. So
Right. What's your thoughts on Oklahoma now that you're here, as opposed to North Carolina? What do you like or dislike about Oklahoma?
So I like the people the most, honestly. I've made some really good friends here.
That's good.
Yeah. And I consider Whittington friends. I love everybody there. You, Karen, Lisa, Otis,
That's good.
Amy.
Yeah. Amy Bocock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as geographically, what's the difference, though? What do you see? Just a difference in values. There's a difference in the type of person. That's a whole other side of the country, so.
Yeah, so I've had to make this work for me. I love the outdoors. I love nature. So I've had to try to figure out places to go around here. There's a lake close to where I live, Lake Draper, that if I just need to get out, which I may go there this evening.
What's at Lake Draper?
A lake,
just
water,
pretty.
Nature. Yeah.
That's good that you say that, because it's got kind of a bad reputation at times. Just because I've been here for so long, back in the 80s, that's where they found the bodies.
I hear that,
but it's really a pretty lake. They've done a good job with the trails around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it still hasn't caught on. There's no motorboats there, is there?
Yeah, you can have motorboats. They say no swimming, but I do it anyways.
Okay.
And most people do.
What is there, like a marina there or something?
There's a little marina. They have the trail that goes all the way around it for bike riding.
Right.
They have dirt bike trails. They have where you can fly your own little airplanes, remote airplanes, remote control, of course. And then real airplanes from Tinker fly across, and it's just a beautiful sight to
Right.
see, especially when the sun's setting and the airplanes fly across. To me, it's beautiful. So
Right.
I don't care about the dead bodies.
Well, I don't think it's happened lately, but it back 20, 30 years ago, it was kind of it had that reputation a little bit. But I'm glad to hear that it's I need to go back out
I took
there.
my grandson horseback riding about a month ago out there, so you can
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I've been trying to figure out things in Oklahoma that I can do that's outdoorsy.
Have you been to Medicine Park?
I've been there.
That's
a few
kind of
times.
a cool place.
Turner Falls.
Yeah.
And then out towards the river out by Arkansas.
Yeah.
Tahlequah. Is it
Yeah.
Tahlequah?
Yeah. The Illinois River.
Yeah, the Illinois.
Yeah. There's a lot to do here if you really you got to go out and figure it out though.
Yeah, Sulphur.
Yeah,
That's
Sulphur's fun. Yeah. Yeah, they've got a casino there, I think, don't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Artesian. Well, that's good. Well, what about you that we don't know? What's something about you that nobody knows or would be surprising to us to find out?
That nobody knows? Oh, that's a tough one.
So here's some examples. Otis has never had a job.
Yeah.
We have one guy, Jorge, he likes cold showers. So, okay. I think there's some health benefits to that. I can't now. I'm just going blank. But there's been some good ones. I know Susan Leinert used to work for the Secret Service.
Oh, wow.
And she flies airplanes. I think that's what it was. So there's been some good ones that have come out.
Well, I have 4 grandkids.
Okay.
Some people know that. Some people don't.
What's their ages?
7, 4, 3, and 4 months.
And how many kids do you have?
2.
So your kids have 2 each, I guess, or what?
One has 3.
One has. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And they're all local.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. What else? Is that it?
I
I
can
like
tap the
there's
top
more.
of my head and my eye twitches. I don't know. I'm deaf in one ear.
I think you've said that before. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Do you use that? Can you use that to your advantage at all ever?
Sometimes I do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Huh?
And, a lot of people say that they feel comfortable around me, but then some people say that I'm rude. And it's because they're talking to me on the wrong side and I just don't hear them.
Right.
So.
That's funny. That's really funny.
And then when I go into houses that are empty, especially if they have hardwood floors and the echo, I really struggle
Hearing.
hearing.
Yeah. And that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I think the older I get, more if there's 2 sounds going on at once, it frustrates me.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, stop! Everybody, stop for a second. That's interesting. Well, that's all I got. You got anything else? Did we miss something? Was this good? Did you have a question that you were wanting to be asked that we haven't?
No, I don't have
We got it.
questions.
All right. Well, it was good to have you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.